Today is an important day. The Sheikh of Dubai is going to announce a big program for culture in his emirate. Everyone has arrived: the royal household, the family, the international press. Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the sole ruler of Dubai. He has 2 wives and 19 children, and it is thanks to him and his family, in power since 1833, that the emirate has seen an incomparable ascent. He has dedicated this day to culture. Sheikh Al Maktoum had an agency founded and appointed his 22-year-old son, Prince Majid, to be its chairman. In the former heart of Dubai, a giant culture district shall be created. 10 museums, 14 theaters, 11 galleries, 9 public libraries, and a major opera house. Big plans, big gestures. Dubai wants to be in first place, also as a cultural metropolis. A moment later, the Sheikh is already heading off to his next appointment, in car number 1. The other major projects are waiting. Dubai is basically a place of emptiness, but one that attracts me. Emptiness can be attractive when you're being asked to fill it. Dubai is a city of superlatives. The highest skyscraper, the largest construction sites, gigantic economic growth. But what about culture? Is there any around? And if not, can the sheikhs just buy it?
Cultural desert is probably a little bit too much. They have their crafts and they have their traditional sort of music.
Even though we dress in our traditional clothes, we are still very much conservative people. We have our traditions and culture, but we are a modernized version of what we were.
Dubai is starting from scratch, certainly in terms of the visual arts. It's very exciting to be in a place that doesn't carry a huge amount of cultural baggage.
The art that has been created in the UAE has not been controversial, perhaps not yet. And this question, I believe, will be risen again once we reach that stage, but not at the moment.
Just take the term Philharmonic Orchestra. You call up somewhere, even in the CEO's secretaries don't know how to pronounce it and have no clue how to spell it. Many things are different in Dubai. In order to get just a small idea of the city, you have to know one thing. Only 15% of inhabitants come from here. All others arrived from more than 200 countries in search of happiness and money. A lot of money. Dubai? A cultural desert? Maybe not. In the fast-growing emirate, there is a cultural scene with a lot of potential that is proving to be attractive to people from all over the world. Michael Schindhelm has been brought here by a headhunter, and the sheikhs appointed him to be the cultural director. Before that, he was the director of opera houses in Berlin, where there was little money and a lot of trouble. In Dubai, there is lots of money, but whether there'll be trouble remains to be seen. Schindhelm is one of many foreigners who came to Dubai following an attractive job offer. How much do you like living here, apart from tax freedom and good pay? I don't know if you like living here. There's a difference between fascination and beauty. You're not necessarily fascinated by something beautiful, but by something which is possibly attractive in a setting that is harder to define. Schindhelm's place of work, the finance center. Here, the agency called the Dubai Culture and Arts Authority has its office between bankers and brokers. In an office that is small yet belonging to the most expensive spaces in the city, Schindhelm and his team are supposed to create great things. In an environment where normally only revenue is important, the German opera man wants to evoke a different spirit. I'm definitely being perceived as a little bit crazy, because among all these business people, I of course have a different form of communication and of thinking which I have brought along. This was difficult to get used to for some, just as at first it was difficult for me to get used to this completely structurized world of PowerPoint thinking and deciding, which is also something I had to defend myself against to some extent. In the summer, it gets very, very hot in Dubai. As a result, social life takes place in well-tempered spaces. It won't be as cool everywhere as it is in this ski paradise, where you find snow throughout the year. But those who want to understand Dubai have to realize, no one likes to be outside when the thermometer hits 50 degrees Celsius. Thus, you go to the mall. There's not only shopping in the huge air-conditioned malls. Here you meet your friends, visit a cafe, or just stroll around. You could call it a shopping culture.
The main problem what could happen is that
Culture director Schindhelm believes that culture shopping alone cannot turn the desert city into a cultural oasis. But it is not always easy for him to explain this to the Emiratis. Luckily, some locals are open to his ideas, like Mishal Al-Gergawi, who comes from an influential family. After a quick career as a banker, he is now a culture politician with the agency.
Well, I think Dubai is very much in need of arts and culture because the city is multicultural and there's a lot of people who come here from a lot of parts of the world. There is a need to use the arts as a unifying platform to enforce cultural understanding. And if you look at the arts, it's the last platform, it is the last frontier where people can actually talk being unbiased. The politics is biased, the economy is biased, sports is biased, even charity now is biased. It's very, very complicated. But when you are in the arts, you're expected to be open-minded. And it is this platform that a city like Dubai can benefit from and contribute to as well at the same time. This ability for different people from around the world to come here and under the pretext of the arts, it is not an end, it's a means to better understanding of different cultures.
The Creek, an estuary that flows through Dubai like a river. This is where everything began when the city was still a jerkwater town before the oil boom and the first high-rises at its shores. The Creek is Dubai's old town. It is in this lively quarter, populated mostly by Indians today, where Martin Ilesh likes to go out for a walk. The Hungarian-German composer was invited to Dubai to gather inspirations from the city and write a musical piece. He has a critical view on things here, especially when it comes to culture.
Kultur zu kaufen ist nicht genug.
Buying culture is not enough in order to have a rich cultural landscape. I think Dubai as a city is an extremely good breeding ground for culture, but the understanding of culture is very different from what we find, for example, in Europe.
Wenn man komponiert, befindet man sich in so einem
When you're composing,
Spezialzustand.
you're in a very special state.
Jetzt aufgeregt.
You're excited,
Man nimmt die Umwelt.
you perceive the environment in a very different way.
Ich lasse mich sehr von
I allow myself to be influenced by bodily or spatial experiences that I've felt strongly here.
Am interessantesten finde
I
ich
find
die
the
Orte,
places
wo
most
diese
interesting
Treppenbaustellen gerade
where all the construction
anfangen.
sites are about to begin.
Diese Stellen sind am hässlichsten.
They're the ugliest places in Dubai,
Findet man natürlich in
and of
diesen
course you won't find any of them in the travel guides.
Ich finde es unglaublich
I find it
reizvoll, Kräne
appealing
zu sehen.
to see all those
Und diese
cranes
ganzen
and all the
Bauarbeiter, die
construction
diese
workers who have
Stadt
built up the city in a
aufbauen.
couple of months.
Es wird alles neu aufgebaut. Sogar
Everything
das
is made from
Traditionelle ist
scratch,
hier.
and even the traditional things are corny and artificial.
Hier wird sehr,
There's a
sehr,
strong
sehr groß auf
focus
die
on Emirati
emiratische,
tradition here.
Tradition geachtet.
Bastakia, an old city like out of 1001 Nights. This is where Martin lives with his piano. This is where foreigners like to be. Bastakia looks like Dubai before the oil boom, without highways or skyscrapers. A tourist magnet. Because of its popularity, it is being expanded, where a new old city is being born. Imported workers are constructing an old Dubai the way highbrow Europeans like to see it. The only thing is, are these old buildings new? Or are these new buildings old?
Dieses Viertel, diese Stadtteil sieht aus wie ein Museum.
This quarter looks like a museum. It's
Man
sterile.
fragt sich, ist das eigentlich
You
echt?
wonder if it is real at all.
Und, diese
But these
sind
houses
aber
are
echt.
real. Everything is artificial
Alles
here.
künstlich hier.
Artificial is in demand in Dubai. Michael Schindhelm's first task in his job is to set up an opera house constructed on an artificial island. The design for this spectacular building comes from Zaha Hadid, a star architect of Iraqi descent. The cost estimate of $1 billion suits the Emirati and their love of superlatives just fine. Schindhelm wants to present Dubai to the world as a cultural metropolis. To do that, he needs the help of specialists.
We, on one hand, of course, want to present what is the overall idea of culture in Dubai. What is the face of Dubai? What is the vibrancy of it, the human resources? And I would like to present Dubai as a place for a new development of culture. I don't know if you should call it global culture, but for a new form of culture, which happens in a place.
For the world's
where,
biggest art fair in Basel,
people
Schindhelm
from
is planning a major
200
Dubai
different
pavilion.
nationalities from all over
He's
the world
engaged
coming
Dutch star
together
architect Rem Koolhaas and the
creating
Palestinian
kind of
curator
cultural
Jack
fabric
Perzakian to
for
be
us
part of the
to
team.
at least,
They are going to set up the
if necessary,
presentation of
produce
Dubai
some
as a place of culture.
the objects.
The nights are short in Dubai, and the meetings are often tiresome.
Coffee or something?
When cities are exploding instead of growing, where is cultural life being dispersed to? The nearby mall can be a destination. This is where three Palestinian brothers founded a music school, because music still remains a private affair.
Welcome to the Music Chamber, our pride and joy of the music project here in Dubai. Here is the place where we teach our students. We have about 500 of them distributed among 15 rooms. and we teach quite a good variety of instruments. Well, there is a very big thirst for music in Dubai, and our dream is to spread the culture of music. Dubai has been for us a perfect magnet of talent and also of the motley of nationalities, of the variety of nationalities living here in Dubai.
1, 2, 1, go!
Almost all children here came as immigrants. There is a lack of Emiratis. One of the reasons is the Quran. Depending on the interpretation, music can be seen as immoral, preventing Muslims from performing their duties. Music school director Abedo has to do a lot of convincing for Emirati parents to allow their children to learn an instrument. Music classes ceased in public schools long ago. So how can arts and religion live together at all in Dubai?
It is difficult to ask the people not to be creative and give them boundaries. That never works. These are not rat labs. These are human beings with emotions. It is also difficult to disregard religion. What is important is that you explain to the people that those who are interested in seeing a specific kind of art, it is available, and those who are interested in seeing something which is a little bit less controversial, such as Islamic calligraphy and things like that, which are closer to the lines, can go to these places. And those who choose not to are more than welcome to stay home and completely remove themselves from this circle. And I think this is one of the great strengths of Dubai, is that it allows you to live the life that you want. And it does not impose on you specific structures. So historically, the Emiratis and the Dubaians specifically have always been very, very tolerant of different cultures. So in that sense, I see that those who disagree with the art just don't go to the opening.
No, what's that?
The interplay between religion and modernity is being approached pragmatically in Dubai. The Sharia as an all-embracing law of God is in place, but the interpretation is loose. This is why you can witness the growth of a young and hip art scene here. Sani Rahba is the head of a popular gallery, and Lamia Gargash already has an international reputation as an artist. Both women live in an Islamic state, but they convey the image of an urbane and successful generation that has evolved in Dubai in a short space of time. Their thinking is international, and they know about the ways of the world from their long stays abroad.
It's good to be busy. Great, let the sun is set. Let's go. We're upwards.
This is Lamia Gargash, 28 years old, a photo artist in search of themes. She has left her traditional robe, the abaya, in the car. It is too uncomfortable and not suitable for illegal roaming through demolition sites.
I was born here, I've lived here all my life, I've noticed a lot of change. For someone new who's come to visit the country, they're not so much aware of what's gone or what's lost because they see the present. For a foreigner, I guess it's exciting to see everything new and modern and in a way commercial, but for me, I've noticed these changes, I've experienced them, I've lived in them, so I'm more aware.
Armed with a German all-terrain car and a Hasselblad camera, Lamia is working against the clock. Up to the last economic crisis in 1929, simple pearl fishers and Bedouins lived in this area. The first discovery of oil in 1966 brought wealth overnight. Since then, the city continues to grow, layer by layer. These houses are not even 20 years old and already need to go. Nevertheless, it takes a whole generation for sudden wealth to shape a society. Expensive property is being used effectively with the construction of high-rises. In the transition period, architectural crater landscapes come up. Still life impressions of change being captured by Lamia. She produces a picture of the boom as art, feeding it again and profiting from it herself.
2 years ago, at the time when I went to do my master's, being an artist was still a hobby. It wasn't taken seriously. But right now, being an artist in Dubai is probably better for me than if I was to start in Europe, because now we are in demand almost, and the international audience is very interested in seeing what we have, especially as a woman, and they're very excited to see what we have to say about things. We're getting, if anything, local attention and international attention.
Culturally, we're seeing this huge shift from the West to the East. I'm talking about art. And right in the middle of all this is Dubai. And it's important that a major art center is established in Asia because there are so many initiatives, so many exciting developments going on in a vast geography. There has to be one place where people can come together. There's a perception, perhaps, of Arabic taste being a very rich, over-decorated style of decoration. That's sort of the room we're sitting in now. But there's another side.
The Englishman John Martin founded Dubai's first art fair. In the beginning, he wondered if he would ever be able to fill the big halls. But then galleries started to beat a path to his door. Everyone wanted to come to Dubai and profit from the art boom in the Middle East.
What's happening now is this new city's happening, and it's a city for the 21st century with a new population that's, as I said, coming in. And artists find that exciting.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic, actually. Yeah. Really amazing. Compared to last year, you have gone over 150%.
Yeah.
The art is just unbelievable, and I'm glad that something like this is happening in our region, in the Middle East, to encourage people to understand contemporary art and getting them involved as well, which is what I see here today.
When people, particularly from the West, find it strange that an Arab collector buys an Andy Warhol picture, it's no more strange than a collector from London or Berlin collecting Islamic art, which they've done for hundreds of years. There shouldn't be any idea that people have to collect art from their own location or from their own particular culture.
What is beautiful about the art story in Dubai is that we in the government got involved a little bit later. It was very entrepreneurial, which is a testimony to the spirit of Dubai, is that some things that the government doesn't always have to intervene and create something. It was very much organic.
It rained last night. This doesn't happen too often, says Sunny, a gallery owner on her way to work. Like everyone in Dubai, she spends a lot of time in the car. Too much time.
The traffic in Dubai is quite a point of discomfort for all of us. The problem with Dubai is it's not a pedestrian city, so everyone drives. We don't have our public transport yet, although you can see they're building the train that's supposed to start this year, hopefully.
The gallery, the third line, lies in the middle of the dusty industry district Al-Qaz.
That looks great. And then, so what do you think that they're doing?
Sunny is Iranian, but grew up in Dubai. She studied arts in the United States and worked there as a curator. Then she came back and saw how many talented artists there were in the Middle East. Some of them only had success in the West because there was no platform for the arts in the Gulf region.
2, 3, 4, 5.
3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think only just last one.
So the third line was really set up more as a platform, but you couldn't set up a non-profit art space. So in order to facilitate our existence, we had to set up as a commercial gallery. But it was difficult at the beginning because we wanted to do shows that were not necessarily commercial. We wanted to do programming which was definitely not profitable and things that like in that way. But ultimately it was fine because it made us sort of work in a different way and probably work in a way that is more creative somehow.
The third line stands for the unknown that is yet to be discovered. Being the hottest gallery in Arabia, it turned the industrial district without any glamour into the mecca of the new art scene. The idea of this barren quarter possibly becoming the next hot spot of the town attracts speculators. In any case, Sunny's landlord has just cancelled the gallery's contract. Michael Schindhelm and Michal Al-Gargawi from the Culture Agency are aware of the problem. In the future, they want to help cultural institutions find affordable spaces because rent in Dubai is reaching utopian rates. Nevertheless, since enterprising people like Sunny have persuaded young and rich Arabs to buy and even collect art, she feels Dubai is the best place to deal with art.
It's only like a quarter of this. I feel like the rest of the Middle East, let's say the traditional art centers that used to be perhaps Beirut, Cairo, Tehran, are not as stable for political reasons or economic, and I feel that Dubai offers a new platform.
Dubai knows little of its own history. Everything went so fast, and now it is searching for its own identity. In that, art can offer some help, and in Dubai, everything that is of use is also of value. For his big Dubai exhibition in Basel, Michael Schindhelm is looking for exhibits. Today, he is visiting the Flying House Gallery.
You're here already.
Hi, Michael.
Nice to meet you.
Good to see you.
Like always.
Welcome back.
Not long ago, there was no contemporary art in Dubai, but the art movement had already been sparked in the 80s. Abdul Rahim Sharif collects everything that the first contemporary artist produced in the Emirates. The former businessman has the necessary petty cash.
So this is probably the same time he created this license?
2006, that's right. And this is his 82. I've been associated with artists since the mid-80s. And always I had difficulties in explaining to the public that in the Emirates, we have contemporary art. And nobody could believe this. But we do have it, and that's what made me establishing this house. We have gone a long way with the movement of the art, and initially it was rejected by public as, what is this? This is not the art. It is a joke.
Hassan Sharif, Abdul Rahim's brother, is probably the first contemporary artist of Dubai. He began working as a caricaturist before going to London to study art.
From the beginning, you have to build the audience. The people who come to the gallery. What is gallery? What is painting? Why we give print invitation card? Why we do pamphlet? Why? What's for? What are you doing?
A painting of a beautiful horse. This was how people imagined art in Dubai. But Hassan Sharif was looking for something else. He was interested in peculiar objects made out of cheap material. With this barrel made out of cardboard, he caused a scandal in 1984.
What's that? Something new? Ah, this is the barrel.
Yeah, this is a barrel.
It's a long history, actually, right?
Yes.
Long story.
It was a barrel. man-made barrel. He made the barrel, size of the barrel with the cardboard, the wire and glue, and painted same as a barrel, normal barrel. And he took it to the exhibition hall. That was totally rejected by the society, by the art society, by the visitors. And the reaction was very severe on him, saying that he's not an artist and he should be expelled from the art society. Some even they went further and they said he should be burned.
Suddenly we saw everybody attacking us, everybody talking bad things about us. All the media were against us. Now they are searching for these things, So you cannot destroy art.
We believe we need more education in the society towards what is art. Art, music, and as I said, art, music, and dance. It's very important, which we don't have it. Art has gone a long way, but the other two has not taken any steps. Music and dance has not taken any steps in the Emirates.
In 2005, I was approached with a project for the Dubai Shopping Festival. I was supposed to write a Dubai symphony for the opening ceremony. I accepted the offer, and that was the main reason for my decision to come to Dubai. Because I felt that if you're in a position to conduct a big orchestra at the opening of the Dubai Shopping Festival, with a work of your own, then you can feel reasonably confident that you're on the right track. However, the Sheikh died that same year and the shopping festival was cancelled. Nevertheless, Philipp Meyer, former pilot with Lufthansa, decided to stay in Dubai and establish a symphony orchestra of his own. The United Arab Emirates Philharmonics meet once a week in the auditorium of a school for rehearsal. Until today, they are waiting for support from the state.
Elena, can you tune everybody?
There's a lot of passion involved. It was difficult. It went from 4 to 8 to 12 people, and gradually the ensemble grew until we came to the point where you could say we had a complete orchestra, or at least the numbers needed for a complete orchestra.
National anthem. But you do have it.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah. You just start anyhow. You'll find it. Okay. Right.
With tact and perseverance, Philipp Meyer is searching for recognition for his orchestra. But there has not been 1 cent from Sheikh Al Maktoum's skyscraper and the Culture Agency, even though it is the only symphony orchestra in the Emirates. Dedicated amateurs who believe in the power of music. The key problem that we have with the UAE Philharmonic Orchestra is the understanding of culture. The understanding that culture costs money, but won't yield a return right away like an investment. In Dubai, the ground on which to build is basically the economic and financial growth.
We
have a great number of inquiries for so-called corporate events, that is, gala dinners with big companies, VIPs, for example. So you would play a movement of Dvorak's symphony, and then at the end, themes from James Bond, something like that.
James Bond themes, Also jetzt was in der Richtung. Oder man spielt
Or you would play some Arab piece with the chance of incorporating an Arab ensemble with original instruments. And then the overture from the magic flute.
Ouvertüre zur Zauberflöte. Also es ist für, sagen wir mal, für
So if you look at that, with a European cultural understanding and orchestra work, it's quite an adventure.
wahrscheinlich sehr abenteuerlich.
But at the same time, it will raise the awareness for an orchestra and will convey the idea of orchestra work to people who otherwise would never have gotten in touch with it. With that, you can raise the interest in it.
Man kann auch Interesse wecken dadurch. Also
So you also have to think with a certain sensitivity in a populist way. Dubai is performing its balancing act well. Things are moving forward at incredible speed. In their private lives, the locals are trying to stay well-grounded and to stick to their traditions. And as if by some miracle, it works. What other country would be able to bear a population in which 85% are foreigners? Photo artist Lamia Gargash still lives with her parents, like all young Emiratis who are not yet married. Every Friday, her family meets in the grandmother's house.
I don't like these people contact yet.
Friday is a way of just kind of meeting up with family, catching up, visiting the elderly grandparents, and paying your respects as well. So it's important that we keep it going.
The gap between traditional and modern life is being bridged by the Gargash family every day. For them, their conservative attitude and their openness towards others is not a contradiction. According to Lamia's cousin, religion and art both have their place.
Naima does it on her own.
We've modernized, we've, changed, whether it's our lifestyles or, or our daily routines and so forth. And we're slowly, let's say, drifting away from it. But luckily, obviously with art, it's reminding us, it's, it's keeping things constant to say, hey, you're going back to your tradition. Remember it, enjoy it, how simple it was.
The Gargash family is one of the wealthiest in Dubai. They are billionaires. Is that the reason why Lamia and her sisters had piano lessons and could become artists? Every family is different, says the mother. She has witnessed other times and paved the way for the daughters to lead an emancipated life.
Just pick the poems and all that, and she knows all the colors and that we are Emirati people. We can do so much things. Still, we can hold on with our culture at the same time. So we are open at the same time. There is something it's holding us, but they can't do anything. I can't trust them. Anywhere they can go, they can do everything. And after Lamia started all that, I saw so many local girls, they started to do all this stuff for the art and all that. So now you can see so many local girls and boys that are in art all the time. Oh.
Lamia's family speaks English surprisingly well. Even the grandmother's cockatoo speaks a bit, but it is shy when strangers are around. Everywhere in Dubai, English is being spoken naturally.
What an idiot.
We have had to be able to develop forms of communication back then for trade and what have you. And then after the UAE was united and before that the oil and the oil companies that came, there were specific jobs that were high paying that required English. And slowly the prejudice against English went away.
Professionally, I'm not used to explaining my work in Arabic. It's become more of a language you speak at home, which is really, really sad. And even amongst ourselves as Arab locals, or we speak in English, or we would input words in English, or input, and use English phrases or English words, even while speaking Arabic.
In the end, it was decided that that Dubai, the boom and the speed at which it was developing, if you just couldn't take 3 months off and take an Arabic class. And so eventually it just became the thing that it just happened that Dubai spoke English to the world.
Michael Schindhelm is here on business. His work is being observed critically in Germany. In the press, the image of rich Emiratis who want to buy out European art with their petrodollars is prevalent. I can see that there is still some skepticism in Germany about what is happening down there, and possibly also about what I myself am doing there. It's a fact that beyond Europe and Germany, there are other cultures with other societies. Like it or not, they are present and growing very fast and very offensively. Thus, conservatism in culture will not preserve us from dealing with these cultures.
Kulturkonservatismus alleine wird uns wahrscheinlich nicht davor bewahren, uns auch mit diesen Kulturen auseinanderzusetzen.
Next to me is a person that is well known to us here in Berlin, Michael Schindhelm, in his role as culture director of the Dubai Culture and Arts Authority. Ladies and gentlemen, the Gulf region is rich not only with oil, but also with creativity and with people. Schindhelm announces a cooperation with 3 major German museums. Together, they want to build a universal museum in Dubai. The journalist questions show how critically the culture exchange with the Gulf city is being perceived. But why? Is it the fear from the new things that are evolving? Is it the question of how inhabitants from the desert and European culture can fit together? Or are the questioners bothered by the idea that our great heritage is being hawked with cheap money?
Der bildenden Kunst reflektieren. Warum soll es das in einer Stadt, die inzwischen schon so groß ist wie Hamburg und in Kürze so groß wie Berlin sein wird? Es ist jetzt schön in Berlin zu sein im Moment.
It's nice to be in Berlin at the moment. You can see that the city is international, but by far not as international as Dubai. There, everything is very lively and young and excited, even presumptuous. The pressure resulting from that restless dynamic can be very strenuous.
Es ist schon anstrengend.
In the evening, a premiere at the Staatsoper with the conductor Daniel Barenboim. Michael Schindhelm is glad to finally feel some theater again. He would like to invite Barenboim to Dubai, but he has trouble with his bosses who are not embracing the idea. So will it work out in January? We'll see. By the end of the month, I'm going to meet Zaki next week. Do you have political apprehensions? I wouldn't say apprehension. The problem, of course, is that they mostly don't have the heart to... Well, but if the others... Now it's a train reaction. I think that makes it easier. When will you go back? Tomorrow. Tomorrow. I'm only here today. Come over for a chat next time. Don't just visit the performance. Next stop on the trip through Europe, the opening of the art fair in Basel, in the Vitra Design Museum by the Rhine River. The exhibition is called Dubai Next. Schindhelm and his team have been working on it for months. Now it's getting exciting. Schindhelm's boss, 22-year-old Prince Majid, is coming to inspect.
Welcome. Very great that you made it to Vitra.
You know, the new development with the Arab and stuff.
It's all about changing the instruction side, so it's
The boss seems to be satisfied with his people's work. Dubai is taking great care with its reputation in the world. After all, the image of higher, faster, bigger that has been well adopted in Western media will eventually lose its power.
Ich glaube, dass für Dubai das wichtig war.
I think it was important for Dubai to make this exhibition because it has shown that there are interesting approaches to culture communication. So this was a successful day for Dubai and for me as well. Sometimes you're not so sure if things are working out for both sides, but this time that's definitely the case. Only a few months later, everything has changed. A financial crisis without comparison is shaking the world. Figures with plenty of zeros turn out to be null. The world has been ruled by money that was never there. Dubai was also hit hard because the petrodollars were the only base of the wealth. What lies ahead for the city? In the meantime, Michael Schindhelm has turned to chamomile tea. Many were hit hard by the crisis in Dubai, and the view from the panorama windows on the 49th floor offers a gloomy sight. The city has really changed in the last 2 or 3 months. You can feel it. The people are talking about other things, and the atmosphere is curiously relaxed or even idle. It's strange. While the city often got on your nerves for being so hyperactive before, it's almost more disconcerting now when it is calm. Looking down from here, you can see there are no traffic jams anymore, and although no one likes traffic jams, you would almost like to see one to have the feeling that something's going on. There's this construction site here, which is just a sand ditch now. No vehicles, no cranes. Culture is surely not the highest priority at the moment, and you can feel that very strongly. We still don't have a budget for 2009, although the year has already begun. We don't have a lot to do because many of the projects that we planned for 2009 should already have started a long time ago. There are many concerts and exhibitions which won't take place now, or will at least have to be postponed. Dubai is no fun in times of financial crisis. Cranes are standing still, and massive dismissals are producing horrifying news every day. Out of a 1.5 million population, 100,000 people are already supposed to have left the Emirate. And what about culture? All projects are put on hold. The construction of the Opera House, Schindhelm's prestigious project, is postponed indefinitely. The tightrope walker, a sculpture at the entrance of the financial center, suddenly gains a whole new meaning. How long will Schindhelm endure? On his floor, the first companies have already moved out, but the Culture and Arts Authority remains. Everyone is wondering how things will go on without budget and without perspective. Even the basics are gone. At the moment, we have no fax machine, no copier, even the coffee machine for the floor is gone. But elementary office life is still being maintained. We still have things like what's it called? Klammeraffe. Right. We still have a stapler.
At times like these, at very, very difficult times like these, what you need, what unites you, is faith. And it's not necessarily faith in religion, but also faith in your city, faith in the spirit of what you believed in. People come to Dubai not because they believe they can only get a great package. People come to Dubai because they believe that they can create change, you know. They can take ownership of things that have different ceilings. There are so much preconditions in a lot of more developed cities. But Dubai plays this very interesting role where it's developed enough to play on the international stage, but it's not too developed to be bureaucratic.
But Michael Schindhem has had enough and resigned from his job. A culture director without projects? That doesn't work. He believes that culture has a big future in Dubai, but most of his ideas were not heard by the sheikh, and the financial crisis has now tipped the balance of cooperation. The balance of 2 years trying to set up culture is surely ambiguous. Professionally, it was definitely an experience that had its ups and downs. But personally, I can say it was a great experience to come here into a world I knew very little about, and to feel in a very radical way what globalization and what Bedouin life mean. That touched me very strongly, and it will surely influence my professional and personal life to some extent in the future. Many things are different in Dubai. In order to get just a small idea of the city, you have to know one thing. All workers are only here for a certain period. At the end of the job, your residence permit expires and you're heading back home. Schindhem travels on. He's already got his next job offer. But he will keep his apartment in Dubai. Who knows how quickly the crisis will be over?